Have you ever wondered why some people seem completely satisfied with things that make you feel empty inside? Why does everyone around you chase after stuff that leaves you feeling drained and confused? Well, if you're an INFJ, you're probably nodding your head right now because you've felt this way your entire life. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of INFJs, those rare souls who make up just 1 to 3% of the population. We'll explore 10 things that most people desperately want, but INFJs either avoid completely or find downright exhausting. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, settle into your cozy corner, and let's unpack why you might be wired so differently from everyone else. 1. Constant social stimulation and large group activities. While most people thrive on busy social calendars packed with parties, networking events, and group outings, INFJs often find themselves secretly hoping these plans get canceled. It's not that they don't like people, quite the opposite actually. INFJs care deeply about others, but they process social interactions in a completely different way. Think about it this way: when you're at a crowded party, most people are energized by the buzz of conversation, the laughter, and the constant stream of new faces. They're like social batteries that get charged up by all this human interaction. But for INFJs, it's the exact opposite. Every conversation, every smile, every attempt to make small talk actually drains their energy meter. This happens because INFJs are naturally intuitive and empathetic. They're not just hearing what people say, they're picking up on emotions, reading between the lines, and absorbing the energy of everyone around them. Imagine trying to have a conversation while also being aware of the person next to you feeling anxious, the host worrying about whether everyone's having fun, and the couple in the corner having a tense discussion. That's basically what every social situation feels like for an INFJ. Most people see large gatherings as opportunities to meet new people, make connections, and have fun. But INFJs often leave these events feeling emotionally overwhelmed and desperately needing alone time to recharge. They'd much rather have one meaningful conversation with a close friend than engage in surface-level chatter with dozens of people. 2. Being the center of attention and public recognition. Here's something that might surprise you. While most people dream of their 15 minutes of fame, INFJs often have nightmares about it. The idea of standing in front of a crowd, having all eyes on them, and being the focus of attention makes many INFJs break out in a cold sweat. This isn't about lacking confidence or being insecure. INFJs can be incredibly accomplished and talented individuals. The difference is in how they prefer to share their gifts with the world. They're more like behind-the-scenes directors rather than center-stage performers. Most people crave recognition for their achievements. They want their boss to praise them in front of the whole team, they post their accomplishments on social media, and they enjoy being congratulated for their successes. It feels validating and rewarding to have others acknowledge their hard work. But for INFJs, public recognition often feels uncomfortable and awkward. They'd rather receive a heartfelt, private thank you note than a public announcement of their achievements. When someone makes a big deal about their accomplishments in front of others, INFJs often feel embarrassed rather than proud. This preference stems from their deep need for authenticity. INFJs worry that public recognition might not reflect their true intentions or the full story behind their actions. They're also naturally humble and don't like the idea of being seen as better than others. Plus, all that attention feels overwhelming when you're someone who already processes so much information from your environment. 3. Competitive career climbing and corporate success. Walk into any office building and you'll find people hustling to climb the corporate ladder. They're networking, playing office politics, and strategically positioning themselves for the next promotion. They dream of corner offices, impressive job titles, and the respect that comes with corporate success. But ask an INFJ about their career goals, and you'll often get a very different answer. Sure, they want to be successful, but their definition of success looks nothing like the traditional corporate model. They're not motivated by power, prestige, or even money in the same way most people are. INFJs are driven by purpose and meaning. They want to feel like their work matters, like they're making a positive difference in the world. A high-paying job that feels meaningless will leave an INFJ feeling empty and unfulfilled, even if everyone else thinks they've made it. This creates some interesting challenges in the workplace. While their colleagues are focused on impressing the boss and getting ahead, INFJs are more concerned with doing work that aligns with their values. They might turn down a promotion if it means having to compromise their principles or spend less time on the aspects of their job they find meaningful. Many INFJs eventually find themselves drawn to careers in counseling, writing, teaching, nonprofit work, or other fields where they can directly help others or create something meaningful. They'd rather have a modest income doing work they love than a massive salary doing something that feels pointless. 4. Spontaneous adventures and impromptu plans. Picture this scenario. It's Friday afternoon, and your friend calls you up saying, "Hey, let's drive to the beach this weekend. I just found this amazing deal on a hotel, and the weather's supposed to be perfect." Most people would get excited about this spontaneous adventure. They'd quickly pack a bag, call in sick to work if needed, and hit the road. But if you're an INFJ, you're probably already feeling stressed just reading about this scenario. It's not that INFJs don't like adventures or new experiences, they absolutely do. The issue is with the spontaneous, last-minute nature of these plans. INFJs are natural planners who like to think through their decisions carefully. They need time to mentally prepare for new experiences, especially ones that involve travel, new environments, or significant changes to their routine. When someone springs plans on them at the last minute, it can trigger anxiety and overwhelm. This need for planning isn't about being controlling or inflexible. It's about how INFJs process information and prepare for new experiences. They like to research their destination, think about what they'll need to pack, consider how the trip might affect their energy levels, and mentally prepare for the change in routine. Most people see spontaneity as exciting and liberating. They love the thrill of making last-minute decisions and going with the flow. But for INFJs, spontaneity often feels chaotic and stressful. They'd much rather have a well-planned adventure that they can look forward to and prepare for properly. 5. Luxury material possessions and status symbols. Flip through any magazine or scroll through social media, and you'll be bombarded with messages about the latest must-have items. Designer handbags, luxury cars, expensive watches, and high-end gadgets are constantly being promoted as symbols of success and happiness. Most people feel at least some desire for these status symbols, even if they can't afford them. But INFJs often look at these material possessions with confusion rather than desire. It's not that they don't appreciate nice things or that they think there's something wrong with enjoying luxury items. The difference is that material possessions rarely provide the deep satisfaction that INFJs are seeking. INFJs are more interested in experiences, relationships, and personal growth than in accumulating stuff. They'd rather spend money on a meaningful trip, a course that helps them develop new skills, or a cause they care about than on expensive designer items. This difference in values can sometimes make INFJs feel out of step with society. When everyone around them is excited about the latest fashion trends or technology releases, INFJs might feel like they're missing something. But the truth is, they're just wired to find fulfillment in different places. Many INFJs are drawn to minimalism or simple living because they find peace in having fewer possessions rather than more. They prefer quality over quantity and are more likely to invest in a few items they truly love rather than filling their homes with trendy purchases. 6. Casual dating and playing the field. The modern dating scene can be a nightmare for INFJs. While many people enjoy casual dating, meeting lots of different people, and keeping their options open, INFJs approach relationships with a completely different mindset. Most people see dating as a fun way to meet new people and figure out what they want in a partner. They might go on multiple dates in a week, use dating apps to meet dozens of potential matches, and enjoy the excitement of getting to know different people. But for INFJs, dating isn't a casual activity, it's an emotional investment. They can't just turn off their deep, empathetic nature when they're getting to know someone new. Every date involves really seeing and understanding the other person, which can be emotionally draining if it's happening frequently with different people. INFJs are also naturally looking for deep, meaningful connections. Small talk and surface-level conversations feel frustrating and pointless to them. They want to skip past the "what's your favorite color?" questions and dive straight into discussions about dreams, values, and what makes life meaningful. This creates a challenge in a dating culture that's often focused on keeping things light and casual. INFJs might come across as too intense or serious for people who are just looking to have fun and see what happens. But when they do find someone who appreciates their depth and authenticity, the connection can be incredibly strong and lasting. 7. Constant entertainment and stimulation. We live in an age of endless entertainment options. People binge-watch TV shows, scroll through social media for hours, play video games, listen to podcasts, and constantly consume content. Most people feel uncomfortable with silence and stillness. They always need something to occupy their minds. But INFJs often crave the exact opposite. While everyone else is filling every quiet moment with stimulation, INFJs are desperately seeking peace and quiet. They need regular periods of silence to process their thoughts, recharge their energy, and connect with their inner world. This difference becomes really obvious during downtime. When most people have a free evening, they might put on a movie, call friends, or scroll through their phones. But INFJs often prefer to sit quietly, maybe with a journal or a book, and just be present with their thoughts. It's not that INFJs don't enjoy entertainment. They can absolutely love movies, music, and other forms of media. But they need these experiences in smaller doses, and they prefer content that's meaningful rather than just distracting. Many INFJs find that too much stimulation actually makes them feel anxious and overwhelmed. They need that quiet time to process all the information and emotions they've absorbed throughout the day. Without it, they can start to feel scattered and disconnected from themselves. 8. Large social networks and hundreds of connections. Social media has made it possible to stay connected with hundreds or even thousands of people. Many people take pride in having large networks, lots of followers, and busy social calendars filled with different friend groups. They love being the person who knows everyone and can introduce people to each other. But INFJs typically prefer a smaller, closer circle of friends. They'd rather have 3 deep, meaningful friendships than 30 casual acquaintances. This isn't because they're antisocial or don't like people. It's because they invest so much emotional energy in their relationships. When INFJs care about someone, they really care. They remember important details about their friends' lives, they worry about their problems, and they're always available when someone needs support. This level of emotional investment is exhausting if you're trying to maintain it with dozens of people. Most people can have different types of relationships with different people: work friends, gym buddies, party friends, and close confidants. But INFJs struggle with compartmentalizing their relationships like this. They bring their whole authentic self to every interaction, which means they can only maintain genuine connections with a limited number of people. This can sometimes make INFJs feel lonely or like they're missing out on social opportunities. But when they focus on nurturing their close relationships rather than trying to maintain a large social network, they usually find much greater satisfaction and fulfillment. 9. Quick decision-making and immediate action. In our fast-paced world, quick decision-making is often seen as a valuable skill. People admire those who can size up a situation quickly and take immediate action. Whether it's choosing a restaurant, making a purchase, or deciding on a career move, most people value speed and decisiveness. But INFJs often need more time to make decisions, especially important ones. This isn't because they're indecisive or lack confidence. It's because they process decisions differently. They consider multiple perspectives, think about long-term consequences, and want to make sure their choices align with their values. When faced with a decision, INFJs often need to step back and reflect. They might want to sleep on it, talk it through with a trusted friend, or spend time journaling about their options. This process helps them tap into their intuition and ensure they're making the right choice for them. This difference in decision-making styles can create tension in both personal and professional relationships. Others might see INFJs as slow or overly cautious, while INFJs might feel pressured to make decisions before they're ready. The truth is, when INFJs do make decisions after their thoughtful process, they're usually very satisfied with their choices. They rarely experience buyer's remorse or regret major life decisions because they've taken the time to really think things through. 10. Superficial success metrics and external validation. Society tends to measure success in very visible ways: salary figures, job titles, social media followers, expensive possessions, and public recognition. Most people, even if they don't consciously realize it, use these external markers to evaluate their own success and the success of others. But INFJs often feel disconnected from these traditional success metrics. They are more interested in internal measures of fulfillment, whether they're living according to their values, making a positive impact, growing as individuals, and maintaining authentic relationships. This can create some uncomfortable moments when INFJs are asked about their achievements or when they're comparing themselves to others. They might have accomplished incredible things, written a book that deeply moved a few readers, helped someone through a difficult time, or made a quiet but significant contribution to their community, but these achievements don't always translate into the kind of success that others recognize. Many INFJs struggle with imposter syndrome or feel like they're not successful enough because their achievements don't fit the conventional mold. They might downplay their accomplishments or feel embarrassed when they can't point to obvious markers of success like high salaries or prestigious positions. But the truth is, INFJs are often incredibly successful by their own standards. They're living authentic lives, making meaningful contributions, and staying true to their values. These internal measures of success are actually much more sustainable and fulfilling than external validation, even though they're harder for others to see and appreciate. Why INFJs are different. The psychology behind these preferences. Understanding why INFJs have such different desires from most people requires looking at the psychological makeup of this personality type. INFJs are introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging types according to the Myers-Briggs system, and each of these preferences contributes to their unique perspective on life. Their introversion means they're energized by solitude and reflection rather than social interaction. This explains why they prefer small gatherings over large parties and need quiet time to recharge. It's not about being shy or antisocial, it's about how their brains process energy and information. The intuitive aspect of their personality means they're naturally focused on future possibilities, patterns, and deeper meanings rather than immediate sensory experiences. This is why they're less interested in material possessions and more drawn to experiences and ideas that have long-term significance. Their feeling preference means they make decisions based on values and the impact on people rather than logical analysis alone. This explains why they're more concerned with meaningful work than high-paying careers and why they prefer deep relationships over large social networks. Finally, their judging trait means they prefer structure and planning over spontaneity. They like to think things through and make deliberate choices rather than going with the flow or making quick decisions. The strengths of being different. While it might sometimes feel challenging to want different things than everyone else, there are significant advantages to the INFJ perspective. Their focus on meaning and authenticity often leads to more fulfilling lives in the long run. They're less likely to get caught up in keeping up with the Joneses or chasing empty achievements. INFJs often develop rich inner lives and deep, lasting relationships. They're frequently drawn to creative pursuits, helping professions, or other work that makes a positive difference in the world. Their thoughtful approach to decisions means they rarely make choices they later regret. Their sensitivity and empathy, while sometimes overwhelming, also make them incredibly compassionate friends, partners, and colleagues. They have a unique ability to understand and support others in ways that more extroverted or thinking-oriented people might miss. Conclusion: being an INFJ in a world that often values the opposite of what you want can feel isolating and confusing. You might sometimes wonder if there's something wrong with you for not wanting the same things as everyone else. But the truth is, your different desires and preferences are actually a strength, not a weakness. The 10 things we've explored today, from constant social stimulation to superficial success metrics, represent values and desires that simply don't align with the INFJ way of being in the world. And that's perfectly okay. Your need for meaningful work, deep relationships, quiet reflection, and authentic living isn't a flaw to be fixed. It's a different path to fulfillment. Remember that being in the minority doesn't make you wrong. INFJs make up only 1 to 3% of the population, which means most of the world is designed for people who think and feel differently than you do. But that also means you bring a unique and valuable perspective that the world desperately needs. Instead of trying to force yourself to want what everyone else wants, embrace your differences. Seek out the deep connections, meaningful work, and authentic experiences that truly fulfill you. Trust your need for solitude and reflection. Honor your values even when others don't understand them. The world needs people who think deeply, care genuinely, and aren't satisfied with surface-level experiences. It needs people who ask important questions, seek meaningful solutions, and prioritize human connection over material success. In other words, the world needs INFJs exactly as they are. So the next time you find yourself feeling out of step with what everyone else seems to want, remember that you're not broken or missing something. You're just wired differently, and that's exactly what makes you valuable. Your unique perspective and different desires aren't something to apologize for. They're something to celebrate and honor as you create a life that's truly authentic to who you are.